Well, I just started the intro and Cat decided to barf, so... Anyways, hi everyone, it's Zuzka, the Craftsy Penguin. Welcome to another video. Welcome if it's your first time here. This is going to be an update on my Craftsy stuff, mostly on my crochet, embroidery, all that good stuff. So thank you for deciding to spend however many minutes this takes with me. I already tried to make an update last week, but somehow I was too rushed and maybe a bit, I don't know, out of it because I bumped my head on a kitchen cabinet right before that, and it was all over the place. So this is reattempting the same video, sort of. I have more news since then, but yeah, you've never seen that because I didn't publish it. So instead, filming this, being real with you, this is how it goes. What I've done since the last update that I published, we've been on a short family vacation with our kiddos in the Moravian Forest, mostly visiting the caves there with their stalactite, stalagmite decorations and all of that. It was really pretty. It was really interesting to visit it with the kiddos. It was sort of a new challenge to keep an eye on them in the caves and all of that. They're, guided tours, of course, but for the kiddos it sometimes can be like a bit challenging, and for the parents as well. But we managed. The kiddos were great and interested, and even the smaller one was like behaving great. Except he wanted to be carried all the time because just to see stuff, pick me up so that I can see all of that. But they were both great. We visited 4 cave systems in the Moravian Forest and then one extra in a different location. And I'll try to put again some pictures on the screen here, but I will also have a link to an album on Raiche again in the description of the video. I need to make that album, but that's gonna be quite easy, I believe. And we had it was just 4 days, so we had quite a stuffed, program. We went for a hike and we spent some time, with the kiddos playing outside, all of that. So that was a nice vacation, and I had some time to craft there, and I took my embroidery with me, but I didn't really touch that. So I'll get to that in a moment. But just before that vacation, I was sitting here for, every day for a few hours, and just under the upper desk of the table there, I still have that ball of yarn that I brought from Toulouse, that DMC Brio, this one. And I want to make a hat out of this, possibly, and I was thinking the 6-part hat, like this. But the yarn is thinner than the red heart stripes that I have used for the hat before. But I also made one of these hats with Ellen Baby, and that one was thinner, and I had to make a calculation, for the 6 parts of the hat so that it's big enough for an adult's hat, although it was for my friend Cleo, who has a rather small hat. So I wanted to make sure that this yarn would work for this kind of hat. And I made myself this not a chart, it was really only just a, piece of paper with notes, which you can't see because they're in pencil. But the kinds of yarn that I've already used for the 6-part hat, with their grams per meter, basically, or meters per gram, both works, trying to figure out how many meters of yarn, basically, I need for the hat. And based on that, I compared it to several of the yarns that I have in my stash and decided to use at least one what's with the focus of the camera, decided to use at least one to make another hat to see how many meters, how much yarn do I need for that in a different thickness. So originally I considered this one blue striped yarn cake that I have. Again, picture on the screen, because I don't have it on the table right now, which I rather would like to save for something like a bolero or sleeves or something, you know, mesh sleeves, something like that. But I'm afraid it's not enough for that. I just have to try. I'll see. It's also a bit fluffy, so I'm afraid that once I make something with it, I won't be able to unravel it that easily, because the fluffy yarns keep, you know, together. They once you make stitches with them, they hold together. Another yarn that I considered was this Nevada color, but there is quite a lot of it. It calls for a bigger project than just a hat. Actually, it would maybe make 2 hats, and I'm not sure if a shawl or a scarf wouldn't be better for this yarn. And it's also quite a bit fluffy, but all of these yarns are actually. The least fluffy is, and the thickest of them, which is more comparable again to the Red Heart stripes than to the thinner yarns, is the remainder of, how is it called? Rosette Puzzle, which I made mittens for Alexka out of, and I have this remainder and even more of the smaller scrappy bits, sort of, but there's like there's a lot. There's enough again for maybe even 2 hats, but I think this one would be great for the hat, so I'm definitely making a hat out of this in the future, I think. So that was another possibility, and the last one that I considered and that I in the end used was the remainders of, how is it called, Lion Brand's Ferris wheel in the colorway Vintage Carousel, and I had this from the mandala vest that I made for Blanca's daughter, and yeah, right? Yeah. I believe, or for Blanca herself. Possibly for Blanca herself, I'm not sure really. But yeah, I used that, and I thought that I had just enough for a hat, but you can see that I made a whole hat and I still have quite a lot of remainders in this bag. But I think it could make another hat. It's even more grams than is in the hat actually, so I used less than half of the amount of yarn that I had, but I did this along the original pattern for the 6-part hat, which actually is not available on the web anymore. I have it downloaded as a PDF, and it was a free pattern, I believe, but since then it just disappeared from the landscape of the internet. So maybe in the future I'll make a tutorial explaining this hat. Maybe, I'm not sure if I can do that, if it's fair to the original creator, you know. So, but you might already see that it is quite small. Because it's thinner yarn. I used 5mm hook, I believe. It's there, the yellow one. Yeah, 5mm. And all the time that I was making it, I was realizing it's quite small. So I messaged my friends asking if someone wants it for either their kiddo or someone with smaller hat wants it, because I have some friends of that kind, because my own head is not that big. It's elongated in this axis, in this direction, but it's like the normal size, you would say. But I have some friends that have bigger heads and some that have smaller heads, so whichever way the hats come out, I almost always have someone who could fit it. So I can fit this on myself. but it's really tight. It's like super tight, and it would stretch, I believe, with time, but it's not really that pleasant. And what's main thing is I'm used to roll the brim of the hat up, and in this case it just wouldn't be enough to do that without, you know, exposing your ears and your forehead. And yeah, it's not big enough for me. But my friend Cleo again already said that she would like it, and another friend also was interested in this, so maybe I will use the rest of the yarn to make another hat like this. We'll see, I'll ask her. And maybe even if she doesn't want it, I will make one in, you know, maybe kid size, or because this is actually more than is in the hat, I will be able to make it slightly bigger, especially in length, not in diameter, but in length, possibly. We'll see. So yeah, it was the middle of summer and I was crocheting on a winter hat. But somehow I had this itch looking at the yarn, you know, and I wanted to make hats. I was even talking about this in my yarn stash video for this year. And someone commented that I mentioned a lot of hats, and I really had the intention to make them, and I still want to make one of the puzzle, and maybe some bright colored ones for making those for this winter season, because they had those neon hoods, but they're sort of outgrowing them. They are not small on them, but I think they would use hats more than hoods. So we'll see about that. In any case, they will have some bright colored hats, you know, to wear in exchange for the other stuff that they have. And they're still growing, so they'll need more stuff. So, and I still have quite a lot of those neon colored yarns to combine with other ones possibly. So yeah, there are plans for more hats, and I really like this 6-part hat pattern. It's really easy, but it's not boring. It's not annoying to make for me. It is stretchy. I like the stretch in it thanks to the ribbed structure of it. So yeah, I see myself making more of these. Also, I promised Ginny another hat because she lost the one that I made for her, the divine hat that I had for her, and I promised her to replace it. So I have some purple, pink, blue combination there ready for her. She said she'll decide on the color scheme closer to winter, because I asked her like in the middle of spring or something, and she was like, I have no thoughts of this kind right now. So I said, yeah, that's all right, we'll figure it out later. So I was doing this hat, and all this time I was like, yeah, but I have this embroidery with me. I kept taking it with me, the one that I showed you before. And just as a reminder, I want to participate in Charlie's from the Stitchery community project, and I already showed you the embroideries that I have for that. One was part copy, sort of, or a nod to her Bargello embroidery. One was this old folk motif that you've already seen, and that I made the light pink one, light pink part ages ago, and now finished it with the purplish pink one. And then I made this applique piece for her as well. And the last one was the embroidery of the scene of the old town bridge tower in Prague and the surrounding buildings and part of the bridge. So I'm happy to report that I finished that one. I finished it like yesterday or the day before. I need to iron it still, and I'm really happy with it. I I know some of the details could be better, but I'm really happy with it because uh, taking the picture and transferring it to the cross stitch embroidery is like, it's an ultimate challenge for me, and I I am not able to do this without someone else's, pattern or inspiration for a pattern, because for this I found a pattern online, but it was in the wrong colors. Basically, it was this dark and moody and not many details, seen there. And I wanted to be more like the real picture, like reality. So I changed the colors, I added some details. I decided to make the background, the sky, as part of, like in the design of Charlie's embroidered logo, because hers is this like round piece with satin stitches in 5 different shades of blue, making this wavy, swirly pattern. So I tried to mimic that in the background there, and I will be sending it to her hopefully really soon. Write her a card or a letter or something and send it, and then hope to every date that there is that it arrives safely, because shipping stuff overseas and shipping stuff to the US, I have some experience with that, and some is absolutely okay and some is absolutely horrible, and there is almost nothing in between. It either takes a week and it arrives safely and everything is all right, or it takes like 3 months and then it gets returned because they kept sending it between like 3 post offices in a wrong town somewhere in the middle of the US, and then decided to send it back, or they lose it altogether. So yeah, experiences from Etsy shop, stuff, deliveries, all of that, because I used to have this Etsy shop, and most of my bracelets that I used to sell there went to the US, and some of them just disappeared. So fun times, fun stuff. Yeah, so the embroidery is ready. I tried to make some progress pictures. Again, I'll be putting them on the screen here. But I did these like several ones when I was in Toulouse working on this. And then in the middle, when I made most of the houses, and other buildings in the picture, I just wasn't taking pictures of that. And then when I got to finishing of that, the finishing parts of that, I started taking pictures again when I was making the surface of the bridge and the sky and all of that. So I have pictures of that as well. But yeah, it's finished. It needs a bit of ironing, I believe, and it will be all ready, hopefully. So yeah, I finished that, and I was sitting here with like, now what? Situation again, but that I have other projects in the making, and those were in the background sort of for the last I don't know, 5 weeks or something, but I couldn't just sit here, listen and watch videos and not do anything with my hands. So I still have some bracelets to make, but I returned to crocheting. And I made like 2.5 rows maybe on the Pacific Rim shawl. And I know you probably can't really see the difference from the last time that you have seen this, but it has a shape. You can see that. And we are slowly getting to the end of the first blue color. You can see it probably in here. This small part is the first full color change, so I will be there soon-ish, probably, maybe one more row, and the change will be somewhere in there, hopefully. But yeah, this is how it looks. This is how it's gonna be mostly worn. So for now, it's really not wide enough on the shoulders, all of that. I'm looking into making it like, you know, how is it, elbow length. Elbow length, hopefully, if the yarn cake is enough for that. So then even the, you know, crisscross part in here will be, you know, worth something. For now it looks a bit funny, but I really like the color gradient in it. It looks really nice already. So I'm looking forward to making progress on this, because the gradient is the thing that, you know, helps me work even on these like sort of tedious projects, because there is no like complicated pattern in it. It's just single crochets all the way. So yeah, but it's for mindless work, you know, when I just have some videos on, not really watching, just listening, looking on at my crochet and crocheting along. So yeah, I believe that is everything for now from the Craftsy stuff that I made and of my works in progress. I don't have another crochet work in progress. Oh, I do. Oh, okay, that was stupid of me. There is Mom's like random, how do you call it, sampler sweater cardigan, which still lives in the bag, in the project bag, and I didn't touch it, so it's still a vest in the vest shape. It needs the sleeves, it needs the button band and lapels and all of that. So I will be working on it probably really soon, because, well, it's getting cooler. The autumn is probably really near. It was really cold this morning, and I think we will still have some, you know, summery weather. I hope so, but the colder part of the year is coming. It's upon us, and yeah, Mom is gonna need her cardigan. So hopefully I will get back to that soon. I also want to get to 1 or 2 sewing projects, because I still owe Cleo her skirt, and I did cut out the pattern out of that flimsy tissue paper. So it's just, you know, it's just this simple trapezoid shape times 6 plus waistband. I need to buy an elastic for the waistband, which proves to be kind of tricky to find the right one. Don't know why. And I also traced the right size, hopefully the right size of the cozy knit dress, again from the tracing paper, to make another cozy knit dress for me. So I will be able to wrap up on a separate video on this sewing journey project thing, sort of hopefully soon as well. We'll see how it goes. There will be less free time for me now, because again, after the vacation, we had during the vacation we had this like calmer period at work, because it's university, and although stuff is happening, there are still, you know, calmer pockets of time during the summer months. But now it's all restarting. There are new exams, new students coming, all of that stuff, new thesis for the next semester, like being sorted, all of that. Doesn't matter. It's just gonna get complicated a bit, and what more, the older kiddo is entering school, the elementary school, next week. So we will have some interesting, you know, time management stuff around here, because the first week is like only a few hours at school, and then we have to pick him up and all of that. So and also in the next weeks, this whole year and the next one, I believe as well, he has just like the 4 or 5 lesson hours in his timetable, so he ends by lunch basically, and there are some possibilities, you know, for him to. There is this club at the school where they can stay after lunch, but it's not. It's not great for him to stay there for the whole day, so I'll have to organize my time somehow to be able to pick him up, or to appoint my father to pick him up or something like that. We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, logistics. There will be some interest in logistics around this, but yeah, I hope I'll have some time for crafting. I'll also have to learn to just, you know, do these bigger projects around the kiddos. You know, take the sewing out, tell them that now I need the floor space or the table or whatever to make this, and I want them not to touch the sewing machine, all of that. Because for now, I tried to keep this separate, sort of. Yeah, and then in October, great plans, and I'm not sure how it's gonna look video-wise, but I'll go for this great vacation with a friend to Scotland, and it's gonna be quite touristic, quite hikey, and quite, you know, explory. And I'm not sure if I'll have videos from there, but I'll try to take a lot of pictures and probably make some posts about that and have some commentary on that. Yeah, so great plans. But yeah, well, I guess that's about it. That's the state of the crafts now and the plans for the future. I am really happy that you decided to spend this approximately half an hour with me. I know your time is precious, so thanks again. And for now, have a great time. Enjoy crafting, enjoy creating, and enjoy the colors. Goodbye.